Is you ready, my brother? Step up to this mic and let's get it.
Make some noise for Domes, y'all. Make some noise.
Hey everybody, my name's not Doms. It's Domes. What is it? Domes Gage is dope, but like.
That boy is good. I'm happy.
What's up, guys? Domes Gage here, and we're back. Back for another episode of Off the Dome with Domes Gage, episode 8. Thanks for tuning in. We're back. We're back. We're late again. Well, we're not late because I'm still getting these episodes up on Monday, just maybe a couple hours later than I would like to. It seems like 2 o'clock has been like my upload time for these episodes, so I would like to get them up around noon, but it is what it is. I'm still getting them up on Monday, even though here it is Monday morning and I'm recording this episode, and I should be recording these episodes, before. So, anyway, we're back. Off the Dome with Domes Gage, episode 8, and we got a lot to talk about this week. So, I'm excited to record this episode, and yeah, I don't know why I was going to do it yesterday, and just didn't happen. Didn't happen, guys. So that doesn't really matter to you guys anyway, because you hear it on Monday regardless. So yes. Anyway, we're back. Off the Dome with Domes Gage. I got Buck with me as always. He's posted up. And yeah. So I'm trying to figure out where I want to start with this episode, what I should talk about first. I suppose I'll start with promoting concerts, promoting my next upcoming shows, because I just announced a pretty big show that I'm really excited for. So I guess I'll just talk about that one. We'll talk about that one because I announced that one. I have a couple more coming up in October, but as I announce them, I'll talk about them on the podcast. But so yeah, if you guys follow me on the Instagram or, on the social media, and if you don't, make sure you go follow me at Domes Gage on Instagram. I post, all my stuff up there, my pictures and flyers, and that's how you guys can stay tuned with me. But I guess if you're listening to the podcast, you're just as tuned in. But anyway, so yeah, if you follow me on there, you saw me announce a show, announce my next concert. This one I'm super excited about. I'm super excited to be performing and opening at this show October 23rd at Ninja Karaoke, downtown Las Vegas. I'll be opening for Wax. I've been a big fan of Wax for a long time, some years now. He used to do a lot of like YouTube cypher, like a lot of my early like Heart of Gold and me and KON's like Punch Drunk. That was all like, I was a big Wax fan at the time, and yeah. And even beyond that, he has great music. So I was a big fan of his around like 2013 era, like, big time. So, and I still fuck with his music now. And I actually opened for him at LVCS a couple years ago and got to meet him, got to talk to him for a little bit. And that was really cool. I actually talked about that in a previous episode, and I think I cut it out for some reason because I don't know if I thought the episode was going too long, or I can't remember, but I remember like I talked about this in a previous episode that I got to talk to him and just fucking have a cool little conversation with him or whatever. And that's when I was doing The Life of Me, and I was actually like filming, and I even got him to like say something for The Life of Me, and then like the camera cut out, and I don't know. Anyway, never edited the footage and put it up. But shout out to Wax. He's a very very cool dude when I met him, and like I said, big fan of his music. So yes, I'm excited. October 23rd, I'm excited to open for Wax on the Push On tour and the Las Vegas stop of the Push On tour. But and also Wax is bringing UBI from Ces Cru, who's part of Strange Music, Tech Nine's crew label, and Lance Skiiiwalker from TDE, which is Kendrick Lamar's crew label, all that Schoolboy Q, all that J Rock, Absol, all part of TDE. And Lance Skiiiwalker is a newer addition, but he's the songs that I've heard from him are super dope. He's a singer, and yeah. So Wax, UBI from Ces Cru, and Lance Skiiiwalker, and Domes Gage. That's me. So yeah, I'm super excited to be opening on this show. Shout out to Legends Never Die Promotions one more time for booking me on this one. Yeah, I'm super excited for it. And if you're in Las Vegas, make sure to come out. This one, it's one of the bigger shows I've done, just with all, not only is it one of the bigger shows I've done with all the acts on there, but it's one of the most excited I've been to do a show in quite a while. I've talked previously on this podcast about not being so excited to open for artists these days because it's just, I don't know. It's just, it's funny the different levels of excitement I have when I'm opening for somebody I'm actually a fan of, between opening for somebody that's not necessarily my style, or yeah, I don't know. So anyway, super excited for this show. I'm gonna get footage from this show. I didn't get footage from the last show, and I'm gonna bring somebody, and I'm gonna get some fucking footage. Although, shout out to I forgot his name. On Instagram, he took some really dope pictures. He took some really dope pictures of my set, of me performing, last week when I did that show, and I'll post them. I'll post them up here somewhere, and I'll tag him and all that. I could look at his Instagram real quick and just, because they were really good pictures. At Vegas_Vida, VIDA. Shout out to him. He took some really dope pictures of my set last week. I'll post them up so you can see them. And but yeah, I want to get footage from this show, and I have a couple more shows coming up in October, but this one specifically I'm really excited about right now, and I just recently announced it. It was just recently announced that I'm opening, so I figured I would talk about it. So yeah, I've actually opened for Ces Cru before, as a both of them together, but UBI is one of the dudes in Ces Cru. He's really dope, so I'm excited for that. Lance Skiiiwalker, I fuck with TDE heavy, so that's super dope. And then Wax, I fuck with super heavy. So it's just a really dope show. I'm excited, about everybody I'm opening for. And I really liked the venue last time I was there, and it was the first time I was able to perform there. It was the first time I ever performed there, so now I kind of have an idea in mind of what to how to use the venue better, how to, the homie told me, oh, there's a wireless mic, you can fucking walk through the crowd and shit if you want. And I was like, oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. So yeah, there's just different things that I know how to approach it a little bit better because I'm more comfortable with the venue. And so yeah, excited about it. And that is a show that that I just announced recently. So, yeah, October 23rd, Ninja Karaoke, downtown Las Vegas. Come through. It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. So, yeah. I guess next week we'll talk about the other shows. And yeah. domesgage.com/shop for the merch. Get you a t-shirt. Speaking of that, shipped out another t-shirt this week. Shout out to the homie that bought a t-shirt, and I'm blanking on his name right now, and I feel bad for it. But yeah, shout out to the homie that bought a t-shirt. I shipped it out this week, and hopefully he got it. And yes, I believe his name was Jake. I remember writing the little note. So I believe it. I believe that was his name. So yeah, domesgage.com/shop for the merch. Get you a t-shirt. So yeah, moving right along. Next thing we'll talk about, if you guys caught it a couple days ago, I put out a new rap. Dropped some bars. I dropped a verse over the Drake and Rick Ross song, Money in the Grave. A while ago, I went on Instagram and I asked my fans and followers for suggestions on beats and songs that I should rap over, because I've just been like wanting to rap, and I've wanted to just kind of stay active and stay releasing content and just stay rapping, keeping the sword sharp, as I've said in previous episodes. And I got a lot of suggestions. Money in the Grave happened to be one of them, and I like that song as it is regularly. So I was like, yeah, I'm down to do that. And yeah, so 2 days ago, Saturday, I put out my little freestyle over Money in the Grave. They call them freestyles these days, but it's not really off the dome like everyone's used to. It's more or less just like a verse written to a beat that's not yours, with no specific, I think just like with no hooks, no chorus. It's just like one verse. You can kind of call it a freestyle. I don't know, whatever. And see, I've always been super like kind of weird about doing stuff like that. I've been super hesitant about rapping on other people's beats, rapping on the popular beat, because that's been a super popular thing on Facebook and on YouTube, that all these upcoming rappers are just taking the, popular beats and rapping over them, and people are watching it, dude. People are watching it. I think me and KON talked about this on our podcast, a couple years back, and it's like people are familiar with the already popular song, so they're going to click on your verse over the already popular song more than they're going to click on your song that they've never heard of at all. It's like they have more, they're like, oh, I like this Drake song, so let me hear him rap over it. But if it's just your own song, they're like, just fucking skip past it. And I don't know, it's kind of like I've always kind of been opposed to it. And then, a couple months ago, I did the Dreamville thing, where I was super inspired by the Dreamville album that came out, and I took 3 of the beats from that album and I did verses over them. And I didn't record them on the mic. I just did them on my phone for Instagram. And I thought, like, man, I should have recorded those on the mic, because they were good and the Instagram didn't really do them justice. But so that was kind of where my head was at with this. I was kind of like, oh, I already did those, so I guess I can do it if I don't know, it's just a cool little like I would love to be doing these over my own beats, like, making my own beats and, doing verses over them, which I have in the past, like Solitude Freestyle and whatnot. But when you take these songs that are already popular, you already have kind of like a concept or a topic to go off of, and it's also, there's not as much pressure. When I'm working on my own beats, I'm like, I have to come up with a concept, then I have to I'm overthinking things because I want to make sure it's proper for my own. So when it's like an already popular beat, I'm just like, oh yeah, I don't have to put as much thought or overthinking. I don't have to overthink it that much. And I sat down to do that fucking Money in the Grave thing and ended up writing it like really fast. So I was like, oh, this is actually really good. And I did this. Now I wrote the fucking rap like before I was having all my damn health issues that I've been talking about on this podcast for the last fucking month. And so I wrote this rap, a month and a half ago, and I've just been sitting on it like waiting to be able to record it. And even the song is kind of like, a few months old now, so I'm a little late to the party. But yeah. So I've been sitting on it waiting to record, and I finally have been feeling like I'm able to rap, and it made me want to do something. Also, I haven't been able to rap in so fucking long that I'm just kind of like, I wanted to be able to do something. I wanted to be productive. I wanted to record. I haven't recorded music in over a month now because of all these fucking health issues that are going on, and or that were going on, and so which I went back to the doctor, and I have a funny fucking story about it, and we'll get to that later. That's another topic I want to touch on this episode, but which I almost didn't talk about, but the story's too goddamn funny to leave it out. So anyway, back to the Money in the Grave freestyle. I just haven't recorded music in so fucking long that I needed to shake the rust off a little bit, and I wanted to sit down and record something. I was gonna like try and work on the EP. I need to do some re-recording still. I haven't been able to really work on that much, and so maybe I probably should have done that instead of rapping on Drake beats. But like I said, I just haven't recorded in so long that I wanted to shake the rust off and just do some rapping. And also, I fucking recorded it, mixed, edited, all in the same day, because that's just how I fucking work, apparently. Because I was like, I forgot I had the verse, and then I pulled up the beat, and I was like, oh yeah, I have this whole fucking verse to this song. Then I was gonna do it just for Instagram on my phone, like I did the Dreamville raps. And then I was like, nah, let me pull out the mic, let me turn on the camera. I almost filmed it like one of these episodes. I just like turned it a little bit. Shit, I didn't even move Buck's in the rap video. Go watch, if you haven't seen it, go watch the Money in the Grave freestyle, and Buck's chilling. I didn't even move him. And I sat on my lazy ass and just fucking recorded that rap, and I thought it came out fairly well. I liked how it came out, and recorded it, edited it, posted it, all in the same day, all on Saturday. So that was pretty productive. I thought I was pretty proud of myself. Like, oh yeah, I haven't really been, doing too much rapping, and knocked out a little video for you guys in 24 hours. Or less, I guess. And people have been showing a lot of love on it. I posted it on Facebook, and people are showing a lot of love. And I'm like, fuck, man. I should have been rapping on the damn hottest Drake beats fucking years ago, It's kind of like fucking can't beat them, join them, dude. And that's what it really boils down to, is I see all these people doing it and it working for them. And I'm like, well, shit, I can do that too, I suppose. Like, I just have been so like, I just want to make my own music, and I'd rather be, I don't want people to only know me for doing cover songs or whatever, or remixes. And, but if it's going to gain traction, and if it's going to get people to watch, and if it's a place where I can put like on display my best like lyrical ability, I guess, because that's what I'm doing, is I'm just taking these already popular beats, taking their topics, and putting my own spin on it, and just like, rapping really well on it. As opposed to like some of my music, me rapping the fucking craziest, 16 isn't necessarily the objective for every song. I'm, telling a story. Some shit is more singing, some shit is more melody based, some shit is more, it's making music is a much more creative. There's a lot more that's going on when I'm making my own music than just like taking a beat that's already popular and rapping a verse over it. So anyway, yeah. So, yeah, if you guys have any suggestions on beats that I should rap on next, leave them in the comments below, because I think I'm going to do more stuff like that. More stuff. I'm definitely going to do more stuff where I'm just sitting here, or maybe standing, but, you know, if I can sit, fuck it, dude. Sitting here and, you know, rapping for, you know, it's short because I can keep it under a minute. Instagram only lets you post a minute long, and also I don't want to waste people's time, or, you know, people don't have time to waste, I should say. And I've talked about it before in an episode about being attention grabbing. So I'm like, all right, cool. Let me cut these, you know, raps, you know, let me do a little rap over a verse, 1 minute long, put it on Instagram, put it on Facebook, and see if it doesn't gain some traction, guys. Gain some traction to the actual music, to the page, and shit, it is, you know, it's definitely getting a lot of love. People are showing love on it. And yeah, so I definitely want to do more stuff like that. A lot of people suggested, not a lot of people, I think like 2 or 3 though, suggested Middle Child by J. Cole, that I should do a verse on that. And I'm definitely late to the party on that one. Everybody was doing their Middle Child freestyles like months ago, but maybe I'll do it. I think I actually started writing one like months ago and just never put it out, so maybe I'll finish it. But yeah, there's Ryan said I should do 90s beats, and I'm like, well, you know, I got to figure out like what 90s beat would make sense and would be cool to rap on. Yeah, it's just, and I'm surprised I didn't get no fucking copyright strike or anything on that video. Like, I was worried about that. You know, I'm like, how does this shit even work? How are people posting all these remixes and covers and freestyles over other people's songs and not having copyright issues? So I don't know. Whatever. Knock on wood. Let's, you know, I'm not getting paid for it, I guess, but I don't want them to get paid for it either necessarily. Either way. Either fucking way. So yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, make sure to go watch it. Money in the Grave freestyle, the last video I posted 2 days ago. And yeah, even doing that, I was like, oh, now I get to talk about it on the podcast. Like, it makes me excited. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to be productive. I'm going to get something done. I'm going to post it. And then I get to talk about it on the podcast. And yeah. So, yeah, shout out to everybody showing love on that so far. Means a lot. Means a lot. domesgage.com/shop for the merch. Get you a t-shirt. All right, I guess we're getting into health issue update. My doctor visit. 25 minutes in, because I didn't want to start the episode off with this. Because as I said in the last episode, I'm sick of talking about all these fucking issues that have been going on. But yeah. And my camera is, man. Even when I was recording the video, like trying to record the rap video, my camera was bugging out. And now I'm starting to wonder if it's like a settings thing that I can change and make it stop fucking bugging out so much. But dude, I was having a panic attack trying to fucking record that rap because my camera kept shutting out. I would get like halfway through the verse and the camera would turn off. And I'm like, well, what the fuck? What's going on? And now, of course, you guys know about my camera issues because I complain about them in the podcast all the time. And it's giving me a hard time right now. So, anyway, I might have to put a couple edits in this episode, and I'm not happy about it, but it is what it is. Okay, we're back. Slight edit. I'm not happy about it, but just fucking whatever. We're back. We're back. So, health issue update. That's what I was talking about. I think, or I was trying to get into that, and yeah. So yeah, as you guys have been fucking hearing me rant and complain for the last week about my damn health issues and um having allergic reactions to antibiotics and fucking my throat and fucking neck swelling up and just having all sorts of allergic reaction symptoms, and then the doctors putting me on all. You guys know the fucking saga, and if you don't, fucking go catch up on the last couple episodes because it's been a whole goddamn issue, right? And I think the last episode, I was in the last episode I was talking about that the doctors had me on prednisone, which is a steroid pill. And I don't know why I need to get into specifics, but that's what I was on. They put me on that because they thought it was going to help with, the swelling symptoms that I had still been fucking having after a month on my, throat and all that. And so I was taking that shit for, you're supposed to take it for like 12 days or 2 weeks or something like that. And I was taking that stuff, and I was like, yo, I don't really think this shit is helping that much. Like, maybe it is, but I can't really tell that much of a difference. And, I've been to the doctor at this point, like fucking, or at that point, like already like 3 or 4 fucking times. And I'm just like, dude, I don't like want to fucking go back. Like, I'm just tired of dealing with this shit. And, So anyway, the steroid pills that I was on, I started having other side effects from that, and I started to notice that my feet were like swelling up, and really like everywhere in my body was swelling up. My feet, basically all my lower half was swollen. And you guessed it, that means the private area. My junk was swollen, and I wasn't playing around with that. And now I know this might be a little too graphic, but the story that comes along with it is too fucking funny for me to leave this out. So this is what you get on Off the Dome with Dome's Gage. And so yeah, I was like, yo, I'm not playing with that. Like, that fucking kind of, that's, yeah, it's not a, anyway. So I went back to the doctor because any person that is experiencing that should probably go see a fucking doctor. And, so, yeah, going back to see the damn doctor because I'm having some swelling issues in the nether region. And now the doctor I've been seeing the last few times is an older, old fat guy, gray hair, like, so that's what I'm used to. That's what I'm wrapping my head around. Like, all right, I'm about to go, I had it. That was why I went originally, was for an ingrown hair. And he's the guy that looked at that. And so I'm like, all right, I'm, wrapping my head around like, all right, I'm going to go see, the doctor down there, the guy down there or whatever. And, I get down there, sign in, blah, 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 blah. They put me in the room and I'm sitting in there and, I'm sitting in the room, blah, 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 and the door opens, and I'm expecting to see this old fat guy with gray hair, and in walks, like, the most gorgeous, most attractive, like, girl that could possibly be walking in the room to talk about my swollen privates. So immediately, I get all embarrassed. I bitch up real fast and just like start laughing because that's my defense mechanism. Every time I'm like, anything's too serious or too like awkward, I just fucking bust out into laughter. So I start laughing and I'm like, this might be a little awkward and shit, blah, blah, blah. I start talking to her and shit. And I get to telling her, what's going on, all that. And mind you, I feel like we were catching a little bit of a vibe. Now, I can't really say that. I wasn't really being flirty, but I'm all smiles and giggles, and I was making her laugh, and she was, there was a little bit of chemistry there, right? But also I'm like, yeah, no, I can't be like trying to hit on my fucking doctor. That's like, anyway, I don't want to be creepy and shit. And so, yeah, throughout this whole process, all that was going through my head were just like the worst, like inappropriate jokes that you don't say out loud. And I'm going to tell you them all because that's what you're getting on this. That's what you get listening to this podcast. You get to hear all my inappropriate jokes that you don't say out loud to your female doctor. Dude, it was just like, even when she walked in, I was like, yeah, like, it was just, it took me by surprise. You know what I mean? It's like the contrast between the old fat guy with gray hair that I'm just like, I mentally prepared to come in and see this guy. And I don't want to keep calling him fat on the camera because now I just sound super disrespectful. But anyway, I mentally prepare myself to go in and see this guy. And then in walks this fucking Instagram model. And I'm like, with a nose ring. Like young, like couldn't have been much older than me. And I'm just like, dude, what? So I'm fucking smitten. I fucking fall in love with this girl. No, maybe that's a little much. But yeah, dude, I was like, damn, she's fucking gorgeous and way not what I was expecting to walk in here right now to come talk to me about my swollen junk situation. And which I can't believe I'm talking about this on the podcast, but the joke, the story, it's too good. Anyway, let's continue with the story. So, I'm telling her about what's going on, and she says she wants to take a look at it, right? And even saying that sounds a little bit like grosser than I mean it. But so she wants to take a look, right? And so they fucking sit you on the table. They give you a little blanket. And, they walk out the room and you fucking have to take your pants down and shit. And I'm just like, God damn it, man. Like, I'm not prepared to show like this girl my fucking, like, it's just not like, it's not, I'm not at peak performance here. Like, I'm on zero, man. Like, I'm like, this girl is way too attractive and too for me to be showing my shit, showing the flag flying half mast, dog. No mast. The flag's on the ground. And I'm like, yo, I cannot be fucking, oh man. So yeah, I'm all embarrassed and shit. And so anyway, she walks out the room, they give you the blanket. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, damn, she's really about to see my shit on zero. So, like, the thought crossed your head, like, fuck, man, like, do I give myself the little pat down real quick to try and make myself look better? And then you're like, nah, that has Me Too written all over it. And also, I would never really do that. It was just a funny thought I had in my head. So, yeah. Fuck, I gotta show out a little bit. Come on. And so yeah, anyway, fucking pull my pants down. She comes back in. She's taking a look. She's, doing what she does. And the whole time, or the only thing I could think is, damn, this is the most action I've had in months. Now, I wouldn't see, that's like something I'm like, yo, I should say that out loud because it'll be funny, but also like super inappropriate. And like, yeah, you definitely don't say that out loud. And but yeah, these are all the things that are going through my head. So these are all the things that are in the dome, and this is off the dome. So anyway, so yeah, I'm laughing kind of in my head, like, as she's inspecting. And she goes, well, it doesn't look like anything really serious. And, she goes, well, it doesn't seem that swollen to me. And in my head, I'm like, oh, well, that's good. That means it's not anything serious. Or that's what I'm saying out loud. Like, oh, that's good. And in my head, I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? What are you trying to say? You didn't let me get ready. This is not peak performance. I didn't even do the pat down. I should have done the pat down. Oh, my God, dude. Oh, and I was figuring out how to set, like, literally yesterday, I was, like, thinking of how I'm going to tell this story, and I was just cracking myself up every time. I told this story to my mom right after it happened, and she was fucking crying, laughing, and, oh, my God. So, yeah, anyway, she says that, and I'm like, well, that's fucking, in my head, I'm like, man, come on. You didn't even let me warm up. Yeah, anyway, so yeah, after that I'm thinking like, damn, this is the most action I've had in months. I want to like fucking shake her hand and say nice to meet you. You feel me? I feel like I owe her something after that. Oh my Jesus. Oh, so now I have a crush on the female doctor at that place, and get injured and go back just to see her. No, just kidding. I won't do that. I'm not that much of a creep. But and I feel bad like saying all this shit. Like, what if she'll probably never see this? I'm hoping she doesn't. But what if she does, and now she gets to hear me talk about fucking having gross thoughts while she's inspecting my junk. Just that term is funny. So yeah, anyway, she said it's not it didn't seem like anything serious, and that relieved me. Maybe also I just had a very attractive woman inspect my junk. Maybe that relieved me as well. Yo. And I know like fucking there's a feminist somewhere that's super mad that I'm like I'm making it seem like I can't have a woman be my doctor without thinking of these things. And that's not the case, guys. I was just so thrown off. The contrast. I was expecting fuck, I don't even know a good description, dog. I was expecting like chubby Robert De Niro to walk in comes like fucking Megan Fox in her prime, like smoke. And see, now I feel weird that I'm even like talking about this girl that much, because I'm like, I'm lonely. I'm fucking lonely that I'm talking about the goddamn doctor that fucking made sure I didn't have testicular cancer. That I'm like, yeah, I think we had a vibe. You know you're lonely when you think you have a vibe with the doctor that fucking checked your nuts. Oh my God, dude. Oh, that's fucking hilarious. Oh, yeah. I'm fucking lonely, but that's okay. I'm not worried about that. I'm happy. I'm okay where I am. Because I don't know, I've been watching like shit where it's like, couple, like a vlog, and it's like, they got a girlfriend or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, it kind of makes me want a girlfriend. But also, like, I think I like the thought of having a girlfriend more than actually having one right now in my life, because it's just not maintainable in the situation that I'm in, I think. In this period in my life, anyways. It's just not, Anyway. Anyway. Not like I'm about to date the fucking doctor. She's way too smart for me. And, but yeah. I definitely, she walked in, I was immediately, taken back. Like, oh my God. I was like speechless at first. I'm like, turned into like a little kid. I'm, huh? Yeah. Oh my God, dude. Anyway, so there's trying to think if there's anything else that I fucking could add on that. If there was any other jokes that came to my mind, because oh my God. And see, I'm feeling bad making jokes about, this whole situation. Guarantee she left and fucking started making her own jokes. Guarantee she walked out into the office like, didn't look very swollen to me. Guaranteed she's making her own jokes, bruh. She looked like she would beat my ass too. She not like she was buff, but she just like had a fierce look to her. Like she would tell me what to do, and I like that. I hope she never watches this. I didn't tell her I was a rapper, so there was like an opportunity when we were having a conversation where I could have like mentioned it in the conversation, like it got brought up, and I just like I didn't say it. And that's probably for the best, because then she maybe got my rap name. Then she maybe listened to the podcast. And, yeah, nah. And my mom is like, oh, you got her name on the fucking, the little pamphlet they give you from the doctor or whatever. She's like, you could look her up. And I'm like, I will absolutely not be doing that. This is not a stalker movie. I'm not about to fucking Facebook this girl. And I was like, maybe if I like saw her in public, I would say hi. And then my mom made a joke and said, yeah, and if she doesn't remember you, you can just pull down your pants. It was a good one, Mom. It's a good joke. It was a good one. So yeah. Anyway, I think I'm getting like better for the most part. And yeah, hearing her say it's not anything serious, it was good to hear. It's good to hear. And oh yeah, so she's like, right before she like goes to inspect, she's like, are you sure it's all right? She's like, I can get somebody else to do it. And in my head, I'm like, no, I think I would rather have you do it anyway. And I'm like, yeah, no, you don't say that. You don't say that and make it creepy, dude. And yeah, anyway. You don't make it creepy, but you go on your podcast and tell all the fucking weird creepy thoughts you had about it. Hey, they were all comedic thoughts. Like none of this was really like fucking, it was all like joking, because that's my defense mechanism, all right? Is I make jokes out of serious situations. Like it's just what I do. And so yeah, it's not like I'm like really fucking was really thinking like there's a comedy undertone to everything I was saying, guys. I wasn't being fucking pervy or anything. But yeah, just goes to show you how lonely I am that I'm that I'm thinking I'm catching a vibe with the Hey dog, we maybe caught a vibe, all right? But how do you approach that? How do you approach hitting on your doctor? Who knows, dog? Maybe that's my fucking dream girl, fool, and maybe we'll end up together. All right, now I'm sounding creepy. See, I'm joking, guys. Don't take this serious. Oh my God, this episode is fucking off the rails. Oh, my mother was calling, and I should have answered and told her to fucking... I was telling her this story, and like, she's like, well, you have to talk about this on the podcast. And I'm like, fuck, do you think? I'm just like, I don't know, maybe it's a little too personal. I don't need to be talking about that. And she's like, it's too fucking funny. And I agree, it's too funny. And, anyway, shout out to the doctor. Anything I can do to repay you? Oh, brother, there's so much shit I wanted to say. Like, just like, fucking, yeah, I thought shaking her hand and saying nice to meet you would have been so fucking funny. Can I fucking, take you out to dinner? Out, you know what I'm saying? But nah. I don't know what kind of impression I set. She saw me at my worst. She don't want no part of it. I'm a grower, not a shower. And see, I was trying to figure out how to fucking talk about this episode, or talk about this story. yesterday, and I was just much like myself. I find it so funny for some reason that I laugh so hard even just to myself about it. That I was literally laughing out loud yesterday, like thinking of like should have done the pat down. Like I feel like there's like a stand-up comedy bit somewhere in this story that I need to develop, and yeah, it's like yeah. Anyway, domesgage.com/shop for the merch. Get you a t-shirt. Get you a t-shirt for the doctor at your that you have a crush on. I didn't see if she was wearing a ring. I don't know if she's married. Now I'd feel extra weird if she's like married and I mean, she's never gonna see this in all reality. So I feel okay talking about it. And if she does see it, fuck, I'm shooting my shot. Shoot or shoot, baby. just not at the time that I wanted to shoot the shot, but I was like, it's not the time. It's inappropriate. And fuck, that could have, because then I would have known I was on if I would have made an inappropriate joke while she was inspecting. I love that. That's the term I'm gravitating towards. If I'd have made a joke and she laughed, that would have been. But then it's like it's either a laugh or it's like this was absolutely gross. And also there's like totally another dude in the fucking room because they need like somebody to watch. I'm assuming, so no funny business happens. I didn't really ask. I was like, yeah, fuck it, he could come watch too. Whatever makes you comfortable. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck, dude. Oh my God, bro. It was anyway. I don't know how long I need to keep talking about this, but I was like not ready for that, and it made for a great story. So, oh my God, dude. Yeah, I was. Yesterday, like, I couldn't record the podcast because I was like, dude, I just like fucking spent so long laughing at this story that now I feel weird retelling it, and I'm like, I hope I got everything in on this episode, because yeah. All right. Because I'm drawing a blank on it now, so I'm gonna skip past it. Because we're 50 minutes. God damn. We're breezing on by, and I feel like half the episode has been me talking about my doctor visit. So, has any listeners out there, guy listeners preferably, I guess, in this situation, had something like this happen? Gone expecting to see some old guy and this fucking dime piece fucking just... And now, see, I don't want to be objectified. Like, I feel like I'm doing something wrong here. The goddamn internet and the world and the goddamn sensitive climate, it's got me feeling like I'm doing something wrong talking about that my doctor was attractive. And it's like, I think it was more attractive that she's a doctor, maybe even. So fucking power to you, dude. Fucking female empowerment. I'm here for it, dog. I love women. I don't want you guys to think I'm having fucking creepy thoughts every day. But anyway, I'm digging myself into a bigger hole probably by even mentioning any of these things, so I should just leave them alone. I mean no harm. I come in peace. I'm like an alien. Like the Area 51 raid that fucking all these dumbasses were supposed to do. All right, guys, we're gonna do some questions and round off this episode. And I think the questions this week is a big hot dog kisser special because I think I got 3 questions from Hot Dog Kisser. Or no, I have 2. But even last week's question, I have a great fucking story and a great answer for that I blanked out on. It didn't come to my mind while I was recording the last episode, but I'm going to answer it in this episode because I have a story to tell about it. So let's pull up the last episode and get some questions and finish this one off. Oh my God, dude. That shit, I was telling it to my mom and she's laughing like it was the funniest thing. And then she's like, you have to tell this on the podcast. So yeah, I caught a vibe with her. I'm all smiles and giggles, man. It's not like I was, that's what I was telling myself. Fucking, I was like, I wasn't like flirting. I don't think I ever really flirt, to be honest. I'm just all smiles and giggles, and I feel like I charmed her. You know what I mean? And she definitely charmed the pants off of me. Huh? All right, that's the last joke I had. That was the last one that came to my head, and I was like, all right, that's like a corny like. That one you definitely don't say in the comedy special. All right, guys. I don't know what I was just fucking rambling about, but anyway, we're going to do this hot dog kisser question special to round out the episode. All right, so last week, Hot Dog Kisser asked this question, and I drew a blank, and I was like, I don't know I just failed, right? And so last week he asked, what's the biggest lie you've ever told and gotten away with? And if you got caught in the lie, how did it all go down? And I was like, oh man, I don't fucking know. I don't lie about things anymore. I'm a good boy. I'm a grown up. And I guess I just didn't really like think of, and I was talking about school in the last fucking episode for some reason. And oh yeah, dog, I got a good story for you. Good story for you. In 8th grade, the last time I got kicked out of school, because I mentioned in the last fucking episode, I dropped out of school towards the end of 8th grade. And I'm not advising that. That's just how my life went. And I was, in and out of different schools, getting kicked out, going to opportunity schools, which is like a school for the bad kids. And once you go to opportunity school too many times, they send you to continuation, which is like for the bad kids that are even still bad. So they send you to another place. But oh, KON's calling now. Everybody's calling me, but I'm just not going to answer it so I can finish doing this episode. And anyway, so the last time before getting, I was in a regular school, and then I got kicked out, and then I went to continuation school, and that was the last school. After I got out of that school, I just didn't enroll back into another school. I was just like, fuck this shit. But that's another story for another day, I suppose. But the last time I got kicked out of school, fucking great story, dude. Great story about being caught in a lie. And it's the most like vivid one that I can remember. And it came to me right as I was watching the episode back last week. And so, yeah, when I was a kid and younger, I used to write graffiti. I used to paint, and that's how I got my name, my rap name. Matter of fact, it came from painting graffiti, which maybe I don't know if I ever told that story, but another story for another day. So yeah, I used to fucking tag, and I was a little fucking graffiti writer as a kid. And in like 8th grade, all like the graffiti writer kids would have like, tags in their binder, like in their walk into class, you would all see the fucking different stuff on there. And that was like fucking stupid as hell in retrospect, because that's just causing bringing attention to all the kids that might possibly be tagging in the bathroom or tagging on the walls of the school. So, Yeah, me and my friends were fucking delinquents, and we used to tag all over the school and shit. And so there's one time where they're trying to blame it on me, and I'm denying. I'm like, absolutely not. That's not me. No way. I'm like, I don't even fucking do that. It's all about the art. I don't even tag on stuff. I was like fucking, so yeah, I'm just denying the whole thing. And, they sit me in the fucking principal's office or whatever. And they're like, you sure it's not you? And I'm like, yeah, for sure it's not me. Like, absolutely not. No way. And they're like, huh. And then they like turn the computer screen to me. Turn on the screen. And it's a fucking slideshow of me. It's a slideshow of me as a kid walking up the stairs, looking around to make sure nobody's there, pulling out my little marker or something, writing on the wall, looking around again to make sure nobody saw me, and walking back up the fucking stairs. And I'm like, well, you got me. What do you say? That's not me. Oh, you fucking got me, dude. Oh, yeah. So I thought of that story immediately after watching the last episode back, and I was like, oh, that's the answer for Hot Dog Kisser's question. So little makeup question, I suppose. All right. Yeah, guys. So and then they fucking kicked me out of school after that, and then sent me to continuation school. And then I was like, fucking, that school was the best school I ever fucking went to. It was just fucking, you ate top ramen for breakfast, and I met hella like fucking homies there. Well, not really, but I was like the white kid that rapped and shit. That was actually at that school, since we're talking about school, at that continuation school. That was one of those schools where you had to be like in a dress code. So it's like khaki pants, shirts tucked in, white shirts, and like that's it pretty much. And there's like, a lunch line and shit. Everybody going to get their top ramens. And and one of my like first like raps I ever recorded in KON studio, I was like writing around that time that I was going to that school, and I remember rapping it out loud to one of my homies, and hella people started crowding around, and then like I got like a big reaction for one of the lines, and I was like, oh, this fool's fucking killing it. Like, I don't know, I think that was maybe the first time I got like, I don't know, maybe at school, like that was one of the first like fucking times people were like, oh, this fool could rap, what the fuck. So then I just became like the fucking white kid that could rap. And yeah. Anyway, then they let me out of that school, and it was like, well, you can enroll in like any of the schools that you haven't been kicked out of twice already. And I was like, honestly, fuck this shit. My brother dropped out when he was young, and so I think that was a big thing that made me do it, but also he was super vocal to me that he didn't want me to do that. But also it's kind of like, how are you going to say one thing and do another? In retrospect, I understand what he was trying to say, and I wish I probably would have stayed in school. But, everybody has their own path. The school system failed me. I said it last last episode that I don't know if I said why the school system failed me, but I was held back in the 6th grade, and it was like open knowledge for some reason. I don't know why it was open knowledge or why we knew this, but the school can only hold you back in the 6th grade 1 year, and then they have to they have to pass you no matter what your fucking grades are, no matter what your attendance is, they have to pass you the next year. So my fucking brain of a little badass child, I was like, what the fuck? I'm not going to go to school. I'm not going to do any homework, and I'm still going to pass? Like, what? So yeah, that I think was the down. I didn't do anything. I think they were like, oh, well, you're going to fucking get it right. They should have just put me on to the next grade and maybe I would have got my shit together. But instead, I had this fucking like rebellious attitude of like, fuck you guys, you held me back and you can only do it once, so I'm not going to do anything. It's your fault. And anyway, that's a rant on my failed school run. So yeah, even in my very first rap battle, they asked like, oh, what high school did you go to? And I'm like, I didn't even go to high school. And they're like, he said he didn't even go to high school. And like I said, not really proud of that. You know, it is what it is, though. Everybody has their own path. All right, Hot Dog Kisser, we'll get back to your questions now. Episode 8 question. Have you ever been stuck somewhere where someone had to come save you? Tell us the story. See, this is another one I'm going to draw a blank on right now because I can't fucking recall any, like a serious, like, life or death matter where they had to come save me, or just, like, I remember there's some times where, like, you know, like, family trips where the car broke down and we had to have, like, help. But, yeah, no, I don't know. I'll think about it. Maybe I'll come back next week with a different answer. So we got one more question from Hot Dog Kisser himself. Big supporter of the Off the Dome with Domes Gauge podcast, and was a big supporter of the Domes and KON podcast, and appreciate you rocking with me, dog. And he's been a big part of the show because he's been asking some questions and he's been filling up some time, and yeah. So, all right, Hot Dog Kisser asks, what's your all-time favorite diss track? Mine is called Marcus by Novi Novak. Never heard that, but okay, cool. What's my all-time favorite diss track? The Game, 300 Bars and Running, by far. I said this in one of the episodes that was the reason that I started fucking rapping. I started one of my first raps I ever wrote. I was real into like 106 in Park Freestyle Friday and The Game's 300 Bars and Running. So I'm like 11 years old writing like a diss rap to all the popular rappers at the time because I don't know. that was anyway, The Game's 300 Bars and Running. I haven't heard it in a long time, and I remember back in the day thinking like, damn, this fool raps for fucking 15 minutes, like in one take. And now I'm thinking about it, like he probably definitely punched in. I didn't know that was a thing back in the day, to where you can punch in every 4 bars or whatever. But yeah, Game's 300 Bars and Running. Haven't heard it in a while. Don't know if it still stands up. But when I was a fucking kid, he's dissing G-Unit. He's dissing all of G-Unit and maybe a few other people. Like I said, haven't heard it in a long time, but all-time favorite by far because, yeah, that like literally made me start writing raps was that song. And I mean, there's other songs as well, but that was the one that I just remember like thinking was super impressive at the time. And he was dissing people. Maybe that was the start of my battle career, you know? And yeah, I don't know. So 300 Bars and Running. There's probably some like Eminem honorable mentions as well. He's got really good diss songs. And yeah, guys. And that is it. That is about it for the episode. Should probably cut it off so I can get it edited and uploaded today still. And yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Really means a lot. I'm sorry if this is the first time you tuned in to watch one of my episodes and realized, oh, he's not rapping for an hour. Dislike. Why do people put dislike? I don't know also why dislikes make me so aggravated. It's like, and now that I'm talking about it, somebody is going to go and dislike all of my shit. But anyway, as artists, it's like so fucking funny how we're like, you know, like all the positive comments can get outshined by one fucking negative comment or, you know, a dislike or whatever. And I'm like, you know. So I need to not let that get to me. But I just don't know what you're like. If you don't like it, just fucking don't like it. Like hitting the thumbs down seems aggressive. Whatever. It is what it is, guys. I appreciate everybody that's been tuning in and enjoying these episodes. We'll be back next week with another one. Yeah, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the page, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Trying to hit that 7,000. We're getting close. We're getting close. And shout out to everybody that's been showing love on the Money in the Grave freestyle. Go watch that if you haven't. And yeah, Buck, anything? This is your time to shine. I want to know his opinion about my doctor visit, but he's not he's got nothing to say today, guys. So we'll try again next week. All right, y'all. We'll be back next week with another episode. Peace.